Hi everyone, I'm Tammy Pike from Earth Radiance, and I would love to share with you a movement that has completely transformed my life. Nearly 3 years ago, I was searching for something to help me connect back to my body, to feel good, to feel sensual, not sexual for anyone else, but to feel sensual and feminine, and to really connect to what my body was and to be present in this amazing vessel. I had already been on a journey of self-love and self-empowerment, but I was missing a key from being in my spiritual self to being in my physical body, and I needed to mesh the two worlds together, as well as to be able to actually feel free within my body, because I was still very constricted in my movements and in myself. I had been searching for nearly, I think it was 8 months or nearly 9 months on trying to figure out what movement would be for me. I looked at 5 rhythms, I looked at a few different other ones, and nothing resonated. Then after many searches and one day going, I really need something to support me through this, that I was able to search in, and I found a Qoya, and it completely opened my mind and my body and my soul to so much more. What happened in that moment, I clicked on a woman called Rochelle Sheik, who had created this movement called Qoya. And as she explained what Qoya was, I just got tingly, I started crying, and I just knew I had to know more. She had these amazing demonstration videos that I clicked on. And for a lot of my life, I have disconnected and disassociated my femininity, because every time I was feeling good inside myself, I would get either harassed at work or commented on how I was walking. And I remember as a 12-year-old, when I was walking through the street, that I got back to where my parents were, and my father said to me, "Who were you shaking your ass for?" in front of everyone in the pub that we were. And that really shut me down from connecting to my body. And as a 12-year-old, that was really hard, because we're a woman, and coming into womanhood, getting all your womanly parts was very uncomfortable. And as I transitioned from young girl to woman and into the workforce, the same thing happened. I was more looked upon for how I looked rather than what I was capable of. So I really dulled myself down and got into the masculine. And I was very good at my job, but I was really unhappy with how I was being treated. All this came about when I had my 3rd daughter, and I quit my job and started my business with my husband, our original business. And now, because of the passion that I had after my daughter was unwell, I started my own business, but it really was only me playing. And then as I embraced Qoya, what I noticed was that I became more freer, I became more creative, because there's no right and wrong, and it's all about how you feel, not about how you look. And as I embodied this movement, and as I, for the first time in my life, connected to my hips within the hip movement that was one of Rochelle Sheik's videos, it just opened up a whole new world for me. I released the suppressed emotions that I had. That memory of my dad telling me what he did, that came straight through, and I knew the wounds I had to heal. And through movement we heal, through movement we express. So Qoya is based on the idea that through movement we remember. We remember that we are wise, wild, and free. Wise, the wisdom of yoga. Wild, the creative expression in dance, and free, the freedom of self-pleasure through feminine movement. On the surface, it looks like yoga, sensual movement, and dance, but it's so much more. It takes you deep to your soul to connect your intuition to your body, and to allow you to experience what your north is, what your yes is, by connecting in and being able to sense the feeling within inside yourself. Qoya is a 13-pillar movement that can last for 1 hour or a whole week of retreat. What we can do here is explore and experiment with a theme each time that we join together in dance. We experiment and talk through different elements of our experiences. So say whether it is with sisterhood, we're going to experience the joy of sisterhood through movement. We're going to express those connections we have with our fellow sisters and feel the joy. But we're also going to feel the shadow side in that as well. And we express that because a lot of the time in our society, we try and shy away from the shadow. We try to disconnect from those bad feelings because they aren't okay. but they are exactly what we need so we can see the light, we can enjoy the joy when we feel the sadness, and we get to feel and experience a whole range of emotions, which is a really beautiful, human, and normal thing to do. So we need to relearn how to do that, how to not hold on to those negative feelings, but to have a process to express and to feel. And Qoya is a beautiful way to do that and to start doing that. So what we do is we come in and we connect with our intention. We work on our breath. We get really present and grounded in our body. We open our heart. We open up our hips. And then we do some yoga to find the flow within our body. We then go through into shaking, which we shake out that shadow. And if you want a quick experience of why Qoya is so amazing, I'm going to tell you a little story. So you start shaking your left hand as hard as you can and as fast as you can. And as I'm explaining this, just have an awareness of how it felt beforehand, how this hand feels, and just start shaking and shaking. So Rochelle Sheik, the creator of Qoya, she was told this story that a deer goes running one day through the Sahara Desert, and then a lion nearly catches her, but she gets away. Now that deer does not go to counseling for 10 years or, stays in a depressive state for 10 years because it nearly died from one day. What it does is shakes. It shakes and shakes and shakes, and then it goes back to being a deer. So can you feel that hand? How does it feel? Mine just wants to float away. And can you feel the heaviness in your other hand? So this is what movement can do. It can shake and can release stuck energy and feelings, because a feeling and an emotion is just energy. And when it's stuck, that's when you feel heavy, and that's when you get depressed, and you're thinking to the future because you're always worrying, because you're not actually allowing yourself to be present in this moment, whether from you are holding on to past experiences or trauma or baggage. But this allows us to finally be free of that by moving our body, by expressing how we want to feel and what we are feeling. And the most beautiful thing that I remember that Qoya being explained to me, there are moments within our lives that words cannot express, such as that time when you look at that sunset and brings tears to your eyes, or when you kiss your children goodnight, or when you are on a road trip with your best friend and you know everything's going to be alright, or even that moment when you're with your lover and you're wrapped in their arms and you just feel that connectedness and deep trust in that everything is as it should be. Qoya gives you the tools to express that, to feel that, to bring that joy out and to move it into the world, and you become this radiant, vibrating being on a high level that attracts more beautiful experiences. So this is just a short video. If you want to find out more about Qoya, I would love to talk to you, and I'd love to hold a class for a private group, or come and join one of the ones that I hold for you. I look forward to talking to you more about this amazing movement that can truly transform your life.